Hello everybody, and welcome back to another timeline and final thoughts. This time we are playing as Ardabil. Small little nation right here. Very nice little green color actually. Probably even a nicer green color than the actual Persia that we will eventually aspire to form. So, we do have some cores to get back, which is kind of cool. So as the Timurids beat up a jam, because they want cores too from a jam, we're going to swoop in and get some cores pretty easily. In fact, the start of this, considering the fact that forming Persia, the Shahanshah achievement is actually considered to be hard or very hard or something like that. This wasn't particularly that difficult of a start. We ended up allying QQ. And we were able to there's a lot of little nations here that sort of border this Caspian Sea, and all of this is just really wealthy provinces. The tricky thing is, yeah, once you get this base, you're still not quite strong enough to beat a healthy Timurids, or a healthy Ottomans, or a healthy Mamluks. QQ actually having a good start, though. Of course, we're allied to them. A jam actually coming down here, conquering a little bit. That doesn't hurt us, because for the most part, we're just beating up a jam. We're very, very lucky. I can't actually remember the exact, the first time we engaged the Timurids. We didn't wait too long, but we're very, very lucky that the Timurids just kind of they weren't super weak. They weren't super strong. They were just kind of just sort of remaining the same. Eventually, these nations here did end up getting their independence. The Timurids actually were able to leverage that to get some additional land. By this point, I think we're able to get close to cutting them down. The tricky thing is that this border with QQ has with the Ottomans. I think eventually we have to ditch the QQ alliance because the Ottomans attack. And in fact, I don't even know if, strictly speaking, if that's why we ditched the alliance, or if we had already ditched it thinking that we could just capitalize on the fact that the Ottomans attack QQ, we could attack QQ, get land for ourselves. AQ, and then I think we switched basically and started allying AQ, because AQ and Ottomans have been allied the entire time, which is kind of blocking the Ottoman expansion a little bit. The Ottomans will continue to beat up Mamluks and will continue to beat up QQ with relative ease. In this time period, for the last 30 years or so, we haven't really been able to do much. Just because these guys are all locked up in a huge alliance. The Timurids are just a little bit stronger than us, and they tend to ally Great Horde, Nogai, Khiva, and stuff like this. So Timurids are allied to all these guys. Transoxiana, Sistan, Afghanistan, Fars, they're in a big alliance network too. We are able to beat these dudes up here, although I believe that Hassa is allied to the Ottomans. So the Ottoman alliance is looking like AQ Hassa, so that's kind of unfortunate. We do get Iraq formed. We take this province and we release Iraq from QQ. So that's going to give us a good reconquest. Ottomans swoop in and take all of this land from QQ. So now there's going to be a direct border when we retake the cores for Iraq. So now we have a direct border with the Ottomans. For the most part, we're getting strong enough that the Ottomans might actually want to align with us. We're feeling okay. We're feeling okay. We're trying to butter them up. We're trying to just switch over our alliance network to the Ottomans. I think right now we might be allied to Bammanis and AQ and Bammanis. But, we need to eventually attack AQ. We want this land. We need to push in. We're trying to get this. So we have formed Persia. We have gotten the achievement. Shahanshah, the Shahanshah. And there is something very significant that's going to happen here soon, and I completely did not notice it. And boom, right here. 1557, 1556 actually. The Ottomans buy this province in India, and this essentially kills the entire run. Because very shortly from here, I think we're going to take a bunch of land from Sind, and I don't realize that the Ottomans control this. And the Ottomans are going to get incredibly pissed. We are so close to getting an alliance with the Ottomans right now. I don't know if we're waiting for just a little bit more opinion or what. We're very close to getting an alliance with the Ottomans. Boom, there it is. We take all this land from Sind. Here, the Ottomans are pretty much furious at us. We're bored. They also desire Iraq. They're allied, believe it or not. The Ottomans are allied with Russia, which is ridiculous. I think we still have the alliance with AQ. Yeah, that's right. We have the alliance with AQ. Okay, I'm freaking out because the Ottomans hate us now. We're allied to Bammanis and AQ. We pick up Delhi. Okay. Feels like that's enough of a deterrent. Well, let's keep watching here. We're sort of slowly expanding into here. Unfortunately, the Ottomans are just pissed. Nothing we can do about it. We just gotta have to try to deter them. That's the goal, to just deter the Ottomans, who are actually allied with Russia, which is kind of annoying. Don't know how that happened. Instead of them Russia's actually rivaled us, so it's just like there's no hope for mending an alliance with the Ottomans anymore. So boom, there it is. So we can see, wait a second, we lost some land here. We lost this up here, we lost this, we lost this. Yeah, the Ottomans had essentially just declared on us. They declared on us. You're like, oh, why would they declare on us if they're allied to AQ, and AQ is going to defend us? And then we got Delhi, Bahmanis, AQ. I mean, that's good odds, right, for us. At least it would deter them, right? Well, AQ decided they weren't going to join at that particular moment. I don't know if it was dead or if whatever, if they just loved the Ottomans so much. They dishonored the call. So it was us, Delhi, and Bahmanis. I mean, what are Bahmanis and Delhi actually physically going to do against the, Ottoman horde that can walk through AQ, can easily just rush through here, just wash over us like a wave? We were lucky that we only had to give up these, release these 3 nations here. We were lucky. Because I think the war goal was actually for Thada, believe it or not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the war goal was for Thada, so we did hold the war goal. But for the most part, they just essentially devastated us. Completely devastated us. And it wasn't even 10, right as the truce, I kid you not. So we continue to play the game, continuing to play the game. We're considering the Ottoman, there's coalitions forming against us, all kinds of nonsense. Ottomans, of course, are able to join the coalition against us. We're breaking up the coalitions as they form to try to prevent the Ottomans from getting involved. But the funny thing is, as we actually try to break up, do the truce juggling and break up the Ottomans' ability to join into a coalition, to just sort of fizzle the coalition itself, the Ottomans in 50, right as the truce ended, 10 years after the truce ended, or we had 10 years after the first war, they just immediately declare on us. We were in the middle of a war against a couple small insignificant coalition members like Hassa and I think these guys down here potentially, and Hormuz, just some insignificant, right? But kind of logistically difficult. We had to kind of come down here and move our troops down here. As soon as we had our troops down here, just kind of getting rid of this coalition war that we triggered just to make sure that no one else would join it. Ottomans just declared on us almost immediately, as fast as they could. They just declared on us. This is them going back to their land because they just absolutely wrecked us. Ironically, in the second war, here's the funny thing, right? So the first war, AQ dishonors. The second war, Delhi dishonors. So it was us and Bahmanis against the Ottomans. Yeah, there's no hope. The Ottomans could raise an army of 300,000. 300,000 Ottoman troops. Okay. If we go back over to here, they have as much discipline as us. They have just barely a little bit less morale. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. There was just no way. I personally don't have the ability to win a war like that. We didn't have forts in the right provinces. A lot of our mountain forts were over here, and it helped us quite a bit. These mountain forts were actually super useful, just not against the Ottomans, because the Ottomans washed over us from over here. We didn't have a fort on our capital. Big mistake. Should have had more forts on the line here. That was a mistake, but they just declared on us too quickly. Too quickly. The other thing that's super sad, and the reason why this run is a complete failure, is one, because the Ottomans are just going to continually declare on us over and over and over and over again. Because they have this province here, we can never get their aggressive expansion down. It is technically down now, but they just feel so confident to declare on us that they don't care. So what does Bahmanis actually look like? Oh, we don't have any allies. We don't have any allies. I don't even know. Did Bahmanis might not have even honored the call, to be completely honest. We don't have any allies. Yeah, I think they dishonored it. Dishonored alliance. Yep. So Bahmanis and Delhi dishonored the alliance in the second war. And the funny thing about the second war is we almost white-pieced them. We almost white-pieced them. The only thing we had to give up was a couple little bits over here. We just took a couple lands. We returned these to Hormuz. That's the only thing we had to give up. It was essentially a white piece, which is kind of crazy considering the second war we were just outnumbered literally 5-1. Really interesting campaign. I'm glad that we went this far. If we had gotten the Ottoman alliance, we would have been able to get a power base over here and then use that to throw back at the Ottomans if the Mamluks had fought a little harder. If Europe had been not insane. Look at this really strong Austria. Yeah, too bad. Too bad. This guy's the emperor instead. Like, the HRE is just incredibly pathetic in this game. Incredibly pathetic. Austria didn't even fight in the League of War for the Catholics. They didn't even fight in the League of War. The League of War was literally the Ottomans and the Palatinate against like 3 little nations in like Bohemia or something. The Ottomans just absolutely just devastated everybody and won it for the Protestants. And now we have this incredibly weak HRE situation. It was just, the Ottomans were just doing whatever they wanted. And for a while they were actually allied with Russia. I think they've since broken it. But the funny thing is AQ here is allied to the Ottomans and Russia. So we cannot go this way. We cannot go west at all. We have to go here. But guess what? Because the Ottomans have this province, everything we do over here, these are all Sunni nations. These are all Sunni nations. Even though they're Hindu provinces, these are Sunni nations. And every time we take land over here, the Ottomans get pissed. So the whole thing is just a complete failure. We did stay Shia, which is pretty cool. We kept the Ardabil idea group, which gives us monthly piety. Negative on the monthly piety, which is cool, because that means that if we go way down here to mysticism, we can get all these awesome benefits, which are really, really neat. That being said, we ended up not doing that, not optimizing that. It's actually very, very hard to maintain the mysticism, I find, regardless. But that was kind of like one idea that we had, and we also kind of wanted, we went aristocratic so we could get more cavalry combat ability. We had all these amazing plans for, like, you know, almost like a pseudo horde setup, but no. We're just kind of having fun with it. Just kind of having fun with it. Oh, here's one of the reasons why the run is a failure. So we were going to try to get, this is Persia, right? Come back, kill the Ottomans, go this way, kill Ming, get that. Now that's a Silk Road, right? That's a Silk Road by taking all the Silk provinces. And also this is Persia. That was this was going to be a big campaign. But I just don't see the point in continuing anymore. We can continue to beat up these guys, but the Ottomans are just too far ahead of us, and they have no one to contest them. We cannot get any alliances. I mean, we could re-ally Balmanis, but that's essentially it. That's essentially it. There's just no one that's willing to ally us because we're Shia. We're the only Shia nation in the entire world, not counting this guy and this guy, which are only Shia because we released them. So, but the one thing that we really wanted to do this run, the reason why we took trade ideas, was to get global trade to spawn in the Persian node. Okay. And it was going to work. We have 55 ducats here. We had 55 ducats here in 1590. Okay, 10 years before. In fact, we had like 54 ducats there or something like that. And back when the English channel only had 49 ducats, we were going to get it. But the problem is when 1500 turned, or sorry, 1600, when it came to 1600, January 1600, the Ottomans had like all of our land almost completely sieged. Like all of this was completely sieged. And the amount of money in this trade node was just halved. So we did not get global trade to spawn in the Persian node. So that was kind of like really fail, because one of the things we were trying to do really desperately was to get that to spawn. And the fact that we failed on that, and we can't go west, and we can't go east, and the Ottomans are just declaring war on us every 10 years. And literally in 6 years, they're just going to declare war on us. Like that's all they care about, is just killing us. So it was a failure of a campaign, but it was also a success, because we did successfully get what is actually the hardest achievement of the 3 that we were going for, right? The Shahanshah. So we did actually form Persia as Ardabil. So that was one of the trickier ways to form Persia. I don't know if you can form Persia as this nation or not. This would definitely be much harder. But this is one of the trickier ways to do it. So that was really fun to be able to do it as Ardabil and get the achievement for that. Other than that, complete failure of a run. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I will see you guys in the next one.